Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Divine Union podcast. Today, we are discussing why you need to work with your masculine and feminine energies to have secure attachment. This one just came to me as a transmission. I mean, they all do, but this one was like, just this aha one moment where I'm like, I need to do an episode around this because I love attachment theory. And I saw this connection with the energies and with attachment. And so we're going to bridge the two in this episode. And I'm really, really excited to dive in. So, why you need to work with your masculine and feminine energies to have secure attachment. So, to understand secure attachment, right, we first want to understand insecure attachment. So, insecure attachment, yeah, you think about anxious attachment. Anxious attachment is centered around fear of loss of the connection or fear of loss of the relationship. And I've spoke to this in a previous episode. I think it was a couple weeks ago about attachment, where I speak about all the different types of attachment. So if you haven't listened to that episode, you definitely should as a precursor for this one. And so anxious attachment, right? It comes from fear of loss of the relationship, loss of the connection. And it comes from childhood, right? If you didn't have a caregiver as a child where it felt like a stable caregiver, maybe they were inconsistent with their love, right? You become anxiously attached, right? You are unsure, like, what do you need to do to get love? So you kind of become that people pleaser energy, transform yourself, right, into being the perfect being that you need to be so that you can win the love of your caregivers, right? And also win the love of your lovers because our loverships mirror, our romantic relationships mirror our familial dynamics, the parent child dynamics. Now, anxious attachment, right? It's all about love and connection. People who are anxious, all they want is to maintain that connection, right? They feel safe and secure when they are connected. Now, you can actually liken that to feminine energy. Because feminine energy is about love and connection. Yeah. Now, when you think about the opposite, you think of avoidant attachment. Avoidant attachment, right? And I'm not going into it in depth because I speak to it in a previous episode, but avoidant attachment comes from if you had a caregiver that was not present at all, physically or emotionally, right? And so as a child, you soothe yourself, you self-soothe, and you don't allow yourself to rely on others because the child, right, still deeply wants the connection and love from their caregiver or from their partner. A person wants that from their partner, but they're so used to self-soothing, meeting their own needs to prevent hurt and pain. Yeah, even if it's repressed down there and you don't feel that's true, that's what it comes from. And so, as a coping mechanism, they become avoidant, right? And they avoid intimacy because intimacy feels scary. Oh no, I'm going to open my heart and then something can happen. Someone can hurt me, someone can break it. So instead, I'm going to put the walls up, right? I'm going to avoid the intimacy. I'm going to avoid our conversations. I'm going to avoid my emotions so I don't actually have to feel my pain. Now, avoidant attachment, right? It's grounded in freedom and independence, right? Their biggest fear is loss of freedom, loss of independence, which you can actually liken to masculine energy, right? Masculine energy is all about your freedom, your independence, right? Your passion, following your dreams. Now, remember, I'm not like, oh, yes, one doesn't care about connection and one doesn't. Remember, we all have the energies within us. So we all have energy that desires connection. We all have energy that desires freedom and independence. Varying levels of both, pending our life experience, pending our childhood, pending where we are in our lifetime, in our cycles of life, and the journey that will impact that. Now, secure attachment. Secure attachment. Someone who attaches securely is someone who they're confident in who they are. They're confident in expressing themselves. They know relationships aren't super fragile. They know how to ask for what they want. They're not afraid of a potential temporary disconnection, and they don't view it as the end of the world, as the end of the relationship. What else with that? A person that is secure, yeah, they own their boundaries, right? They honor their boundaries. They own their boundaries. They're not afraid to stand up for what they care about, for what's important to them, even if it affects the harmony of the relationship. They don't see it as a threat. As opposed to anxious, sees it as a threat. Anxious, they desire the honeymoon phase throughout, right? Once you get to that power struggle phase where it doesn't feel honeymoony, they become afraid and fearful. Oh, what's wrong? Now, secure, I'm coming back to secure, right? They express themselves. They also know how to be that stable base for their partner. They know how to hold their partners, right? I want you to feel safe to come and express yourself to me, to share what's on your mind. I'm going to receive you without judging. We're going to have healthy communication about conflict, right? We don't need to create drama, right? Because we know that we're going to get through it, right? And it comes down to this self security of knowing relationships aren't that fragile, and also security in who you are, of trusting, like if you are doing the best that you can to show up for yourself and to show up for your lover, your partner. Yeah. Then everything is going to work out as it's supposed to, as it should. It's all, you can only control what you can control. And so you release that. I'm trying to control my partner. I'm trying to control the direction of the relationship. Instead, you show up in ways that are empowering, that feel good for you. Yeah, that are healthy for your energy, for your sanity, for your mental state. And you let time show you. Now, why that's so important? Why does that tie to the energies? Because masculine energy, if you don't cultivate healthy masculine energy, you're never going to be a secure partner, because your masculine is your knowing of who you are. Your masculine is that knowing of what you want, what you need, what you deserve. It's that awareness of your desires, ability to express your desires. It's your focused action for what you're passionate about within the relationship and outside of the relationship. Also, your action on furthering the growth of the relationship and taking that into your own hands. And with the secure attachment, right? To truly be securely attached, you also need to cultivate that feminine side. You need to be connected to your intuition, your sensitivity and sense of knowing how to read your partner, how to read a situation, how to read the moment, how to feel their energy. Is this a time to bring up conflict? Is it not? They say they're not frustrated about something, but I feel their energy is saying otherwise. I'm going to read between the lines. Yeah. They initiate sex, but I can feel they're not fully present. Or I feel that they're trying to do it for another purpose, to maybe release some steam, some energy, distract themselves from something. You need that balance to be a secure partner for your secure partner, for your partner. You need to be able to sense things, and you need your masculine then to be able to talk about them. Hey, what's going on? I'm sensing something, a shift in the energy. I'm sensing I'm not fully feeling presence from you. Yeah, and it could just be me, but talk to me. Is something going on? What are you experiencing? How's life outside of the relationship? How are things? How are you feeling about are relating me. I know we've been fighting about X, Y, and Z. Is that weighing on you still? Right? Like you need to be able to intuit what you're feeling and then speak about it in the relationship. Yeah, sensing your partner, but also sensing your own energy, your own self, your own heart. Yeah. Also to be a secure partner. Yeah. Secure attachment. It's healthy communication, right? And its ability to also go deep in intimacy and not fearing that intimacy. So it's your ability to be vulnerable on the feminine side. That's what creates intimacy. I'm going to share vulnerably. That didn't feel good. That hurt my feelings. I had a hard day because of X, Y, and Z. And this is what I learned. I always love to take our um, challenges into our own hands, share about the learnings, right? You never want to share. You need to have some even boundaries with your mind. You don't want to share everything in the kitchen sink without having worked through it or been thoughtful about your own life experience and what you make of it. But it's having the feminine sensitivity to be vulnerable. Yeah, and then also on the feminine side, it's this curiosity, which goes with the intuition, what I was saying earlier. It's asking questions, it's knowing that you don't have all the answers, it's being curious. Because sometimes, even in conflict, yeah, if your partner responds in a way, maybe they're moody and they respond, and you just approach it with curiosity, they may have their own insights. They may shift their stance, their perspective, their point of view, if maybe they're on the attack. Curiosity is so powerful for relating, and it creates such security in the relationship because then you're not judging your partner, you're not attacking your partner, but you're coming from a place of genuine curiosity about their experience of the relationship, their experience of life, whatever it is they're sharing. And I'm speaking to this because hello, we're on the Divine Union podcast. We want to have divine union in relationship. We have to have inner union within. We have to work with our own energies to have balance so that we can be secure partners in life, so that we can also be secure within ourselves in life. And that's how we're going to have that true divine union in relationship. That's how we're going to have intimacy that extends to the cosmos, that's so profound and deep and enlivening and insightful and inspiring. The energies are essential for all of life. And if you want to have secure attachment, you have to be balanced with your masculine and feminine energies to embody that and be that for a partner. Thank you, beautiful people, for tuning in to this week's episode of Divine Union with moi, Nicola and Yvonne. It's been such a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you next week. And until then, may all your unions be divine.